Tonight, we're getting reaction to the possibility of off-track betting coming to Danville. As we told you yesterday, Rosie's Gaming Emporium wants to open a location there. Its Benton location opened just this month. But as 10 News reporter Colter Anstadt reports, not everyone is sold on the idea.
In about 6 months, the fate of off-track pari-mutuel betting in Danville could be decided. A petition has been filed to allow Danville voters to go to the polls in November and say yes or no to Rosie's Gaming Emporium. Danville resident Bill Smith is undecided about gambling establishments in the city.
The bad side is people get addicted, like drugs and all that, although there's a difference, obviously. And the good side is, of course, if you like to use it for entertainment or raise money for the city.
Danville resident Willie Osborne, though, has already made up his mind.
I don't think it'll be good for Danville because I think it'll take money out of children's mouths, and then it'll have more crime.
He admits that gambling establishments would create jobs and generate money for the city, but he's still opposed to them. City manager Ken Larking isn't advocating for or against gambling establishments, but says Rosie's interest in Danville could be beneficial for the city.
I think anytime a company has identified Danville as a great place to do business, it helps spread that message around to others.
Rosie's would be in addition to the casino that could open in the near future. So does this mean that gambling is going to become a big industry in Danville?
It's hard to know whether or not that would be a big industry. I think having a diverse economy is important.
The petition has to get a minimum of 1,403 signatures by August 1st in order for a referendum to go to voters. In Danville, Colter Anstadt, 10 News, working for you.